of making this dish, I wanted to look into each recipe I make for this series just to have a better understanding of where this recipe originates from, where these recipes originate from, because I don't know much about Australian culture. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, because this is a learning experience. I did some Google researching. I didn't pick up books from the library. I don't live where there's a library, so that makes things a little harder to research. So this is what I found on the stuffed rolled steak that I'm creating today from the book. I didn't find anything related to the stuffed rolled steak that I am creating in the book. However, I found a dish called carpet bag steak. It originated in the UK, but rose in popularity in Australia around the 50s and 60s, right? And this is because it was introduced through the book, Goldblum Cookery Book, that was released in 1899 to 1905, where this dish was considered a luxury meal. This dish was hollowed out steak stuffed with oysters. So that's not the same thing that we're making. But I'm going to go ahead and make the assumption that people that are from Australia are more than welcome to correct that this recipe might have just shifted over time. This dish still exists, I'm sure, but it's also created maybe a spin-off dish of this with cheaper ingredients, because steak hasn't always been the most affordable dish for people to make, and also hollowing out a steak is not really, it's a lot of steak you need to use to hollow out a steak. And coming are fajita, right? So in this dish we use skirt steak, which is what I know it as fajita, right? And this in the 80s was priced as $1.95 per kilo. Now I'm an American. I don't know what kilos are, but I know that's bad. But as far as my other research has seen, that was a price drop from previously, making it more affordable to obtain this type of meat, this cut of meat. And so I can only assume that instead of stuffing a steak, rolling ingredients into a butterflied piece of fajita was probably a more affordable option for a lot of people at the time. This also comes to play with understanding where our book is originating from and what audiences they were trying to create this book for. It's very important to understand who your cookbook is writing for. Now, yes, this cookbook says it's to explore Australian dishes. However, the afterword of this cookbook has described it as an introduction book for Americans and Canadians into Australian cooking, which could have and lead to shifts in ingredients used. So my rolled steak, knowing that whole pieces of steak is quite expensive in America, and I can only assume also in Canada, could be replaced with fajita. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know much about the other dishes in Australia. That was all the fun facts I had, but now it's time to see the final results. And it looks pretty good. I don't know if I cooked this right, and so I might have to give this little guy another shot. I gave her a taste test, and I didn't know how to feel. My partner for sure didn't like it, and I was just okay with it, so we decided to get some Taco Bell and call it a night. Need to retry this.